You know, I got to cut out this half a glass stuff. Why am I sitting so low?
Of all the things I dreamed of, there's something about this one that makes me think about you.
Well, as I look at my watch, it's time for In the Room. And tonight's episode, y'all, is Sports Talk. We done gathered at our new time, y'all. Monday night. President's Day. I know everybody celebrated President's Day.
Yeah.
I don't know about celebrating, but I sure took the day off.
I know that's right. Well, I want to welcome everyone to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach. I'm your host of In the Room, and tonight's episode is Sports Talk, y'all. And I gathered my crew. Everybody's back. My whole crew is back, man. It's lovely to see you fellas back tonight, y'all. And let me give a quick introduction. Representing the Midwest, representing the Two Dog Sports Talk show out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, y'all. Show some love to my main man, Mr. Jeremiah. What's up, Jeremiah?
Everybody? What's up? What's going on? What's happening?
Keeping it. We're gonna keep it in the Midwest, representing wise, you know, because he's a multi-traveler, you know. But he's my co-host of In the Room, and also Sports Talk tonight. My main man, Mr. Philip Townsend. What's up, Phil?
What's up, baby?
And what school did he go to? Say it with pride, Vance.
Langston University, man. They want to represent them LU, but I heard there was another LU like Lincoln. We'll move on. We'll talk about that. Terry, you know about
Now,
that.
that might be a myth.
LU. Let me keep going, man. Let me keep introducing the crew, man. We get y'all something else, man. So I'm gonna jet right on out there to the West Coast, my guys, man, representing, holding it down in the West Coast. Our nationally touring comedian, y'all, showing his love. Just came off his first inaugural season of coaching. Y'all show some love for Mr. Mark Howard in the house.
And what school did I go to? Langston.
Hey, Mark, you all aren't in the playoffs? Playoffs?
JV don't make playoffs. And varsity didn't make it either.
And also holding it down, y'all, representing our armed forces, man. He's representing all of them, man. My main man from high school, Mr. Terry Rayford. What's up, Terry?
How y'all doing?
Terry.
Man,
all the armed forces, huh? Terry, was you in the ROTC?
Yeah, ROTC for the Army, Air Force, and Navy.
There you go. Tell him, Terry. Hey, boy, I got some ROTC stories. Woo-wee!
Yeah, you know we do.
Got some ROTC stories. But anyway, y'all, hey, I'm glad to see you fellas back, man. And there's been a lot of things happening in the sports world. So I was gonna start out with the Shaq thing, Phil. But what I think I love to do, man, is let's talk about these black coaches. But I want to start out with the one still in the NFL. So, you know, you heard about Brian Flores. I'm mentioning Brian Flores.
Mm-hmm.
He just got hired. Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers hired him. So my question to you fellas, do you think that Brian should have accepted that job? And just give me a little opinion of the whole scenario, what you think went down, and what does that represent moving forward? Start with you, JW. Jeremiah.
Yeah, he should have accepted. The man got to feed his family. What you want him to do? Just sit there and do nothing? You know, it wasn't too many people knocking at his door to hire him. But like I said in my post on Facebook, much respect to the Pittsburgh Steelers for when it wasn't popular to hire this man, Mike Tomlin and the Steeler Nation. They hired him as on the defensive side as a coach and to shore up what they needed. So much respect to Steeler Nation.
Okay. What do you say, Mark?
Well, yeah, he got to feed his family, and I guess you don't want to step down to college level, but um, I'm like, did somebody step on and become a sacrificial lamb to try to shut this down, or are the Rooney's going to soon somehow some controversy is going to somehow pop up, and they get finagled out of ownership because they definitely are going against the grain here. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see what Houston did, and I see what Miami did, which is a bunch of bull. You know what? To try to pull the wool over our eyes, but Pittsburgh could probably be more sincere. So it's a little curious, man. Them other ones is quite treacherous.
What do you say, Terry?
Well, first of all, I give shout out to my frat brother Mike Tomlin, that's the coach of Pittsburgh. I'm sure he has something to do with that. And the Pittsburgh organization, they're very proactive and on the Rooney Rule. So my hat's off to them. I think he got to feed his family, and I don't think he wanted to go back to college. I think that'd have been a slap in his face. So I believe he just went to. He's going to go to Pittsburgh and do an outstanding job for him.
Co-host, close it up.
Well, of course he needed to take the job. It's in no way going to affect his lawsuit. But I think something that's clearly even more important here is when you look at that lawsuit. We're looking at a lawsuit that was a class action based lawsuit, and you look and you heard a little chirping from Hugh, and you heard a little chirping from someone else about something happening with them, but you didn't see them putting pen to paper on it, and people running to sign on to this class action. As of yet, the only sign on to this class action, as far as I'm aware of, is Brian Flores. Now, what are the dynamics in play here? Are other coaches? None of them have ever gone through any of this stuff that Brian Flores is saying. Is this really just something that Brian Flores has conjured up, and black coaches aren't being discriminated against? Because again, no one else has run to sign on to this. Or are they quite aware of the powers that be and understand that the Rooney Rule has been in effect for years? They've even made changes to it to where a team can get some gratis if they hire black coaches or administrators, and they're still opting not to. Roger Goodell said he's going to have to go through and make some other changes and revisit the Rooney Rule. So these other coaches are saying, hold it. We aren't getting the jobs anyway, and when we get them, we already know we're going to get fired. Do we want to expedite getting fired by signing on to this? So it's a lot of dynamics in play, and I just can't wait to see it play out.
Can we answer the question next time?
I did. I answered it right off the bat.
I thought you answered this question
Thank
too,
you.
Phil.
Thank you, Mark.
But Jeremiah got you.
Jeremiah, look, I answered the question, and Jeremiah just hating.
He was ready for that. No matter what you did, he was coming.
I know. I could have told him mac and cheese. And
Well, all I know, fellas, is we're still the most hated for whatever reason. And it's ridiculous, man. So, but I mean, he's hired. I'm glad Tomlin stepped up and gave this man a job, so he can take that off his head mind too, is whether he's gonna be blackballed or whatever. But we see it. All I say is, if we don't start sticking together, man, and trying to somehow create the power that we do, we always think about it. When we come together as a people and go at a specific task, or you're trying to get something done, we accomplish it, man, every time. every time. Then we go back into our comfortable abodes and start watching Sports Center and movies and and doing the little things that we got our comfort zone. Make us, until I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just like these uh, the voting rights. This voting thing. It's so quiet. It's so quiet, man. So anyway, I kind of got off into a little tangent, but I'm just kind of glad my man got a job, and we're gonna see, like you say, Phil, see how this works out, pans out with these black coaches, man. It's ridiculous, man. Anyway, so we'll keep watching it. We'll see what the big mouths, the Stephen A. Smiths and all them guys that say they talk. We'll see what's up. We'll see what's going on. So continue, man. We're gonna stay right along with the one more question about these black coaches, man. I need y'all's opinion and what you think about this latest incident with Juwan Howard, the coach of the Michigan Wolverines. And so I'm gonna ignite the conversation, and I'm gonna pass it to my homeboy Terry, and tell us what you want to say, man. And then we'll follow up probably with Jeremiah and Mark and Phil. But Terry, so what do you think, man? You think we got a 5-game suspension? So what do you think about that situation, man?
Now that part could have been fair because he did put hands on somebody, but like I was telling Phil them earlier, from what I saw uh, from the end of the game, how the teams meet, the head coach for Wisconsin put his hands on him, and he kind of like brushed him off, and then he grabbed him to try to stay into the conversation. And then the next thing I know, it escalated. They kind of skipped what really happened and went to them, to the team players getting between each other, trying to stop their coaches from going at it. And then the Michigan coach, like he took a swipe. I don't even think he connected, but he took a swipe at the assistant head coach of Wisconsin. And I'm pretty sure that from what I saw, he was probably in outrage because of the head coach putting hands on him at the beginning. So that's what I saw.
What do you say, JW?
Uh, I think the 5 games is not enough. I think it should have been more game. I don't think the man should have been fired. The incident that took place, he walked off, but then he came back and he hit the assistant coach. I want to know what was said in between there to really make him want to hit the assistant coach. Because I know they got audio, of what was said between the head coach and Juwan Howard, because they played it. So I know there's some audio on what was said then. But my thing is, this is not the first time Juwan Howard had to be held back from going off or trying to go at someone. It happened last year in the Big Ten tournament, where he had to be held back from trying to go and hit or fight someone. And so I think the 5-game suspension is too little. I think he should have probably been suspended for the rest of the season, and then come back next year and play. They probably won't make the tournament anyhow. If they make anything, it'll be the NIT. They having a bad year. They started off at number 5, between top 5, top 6, and they have had a atrocious year, and all that, and being upset and everything else. My thing is, the coach was Juwan Howard complaining about the timeout. My thing is, you down by 15 points. Why are you still pressing? Why don't you just tell your players to sit back, let them bring the ball in, and run the clock out? There's no need to press. You ain't finna score 15 points in 15 seconds. So Juwan Howard has some culpability to this situation too, but I don't think it should be. He should have been fired, but I do think that the penalty should have been a lot harsher than what it was. I think it was too soft.
What do you say, Mark?
First off, nice hat, Jeremiah. Anyway, I'm gonna basically piggyback on what Jeremiah said, is that the suspension should have been longer. Cousin Juwan, No relation. We share the same last name, and we both light skinned, but no relation other than that.
And he can play.
Leave Mark alone.
If I was 6'10", I would have made it in the NFL.
Oh,
NBA.
Lord have mercy. You still left-handed.
I'd have killed you, man.
Handed.
So, no, yeah, he's got a little bit of problem with his stuff. I'm going to say this to you, too, is that as much, Terry, I want you to understand, and I get what you're saying. We all do this. This ain't a black or white thing. We all, when we're like in a heated situation, the guy's thinking maybe that you did something for a particular reason, because by the time he called a timeout, Juwan Howard expressed his displeasure against what he did while he was pressing with less than 10 seconds left. Okay, so he does that, and then he goes to him, and we all go. We try to get somebody attention. They try to walk. What we do? We reach our hand out. We tap them. We stop them. I get it. I get it that there's a time when a good friend of mine was saying there's an entitlement. White folks want to touch and put hands on somebody, but we do that. We kind of go and reach out, especially because these coaches do know each other. They don't have to all be friends, but they do have an understanding and know each other. So he does that. Juwan Howard don't want to talk to him, so he's trying to explain, or maybe possibly trying to explain to him why he did it, basically saying, don't get mad at me about what I did because you did what you did, whatever it may have been. If you notice, Juwan Howard grabbed his shirt. He grabbed the man's shirt right there and let go real quick. This is where I call bull on Juwan throughout his whole thing, is because initially, do you remember what he said why he hit the guy? Nope.
I didn't see that.
It was stated that he said that he got hit first. Someone put their hands on him first. Now, if you notice, when he and the coach got to it, they got separated. Bodies were separated. The head coach was moved way off. And there were a couple of people stacked a little bit between him and one of the other assistant coaches. I doubt very seriously you didn't see the coach reach through nobody in the middle or over anybody to touch him or put his hands on him. He said something, and Juwan Howard had to reach over the top and slap the man.
Well, Mark, maybe he thought that, like they say, black people, we all look alike. Maybe he thought the assistant coach and
the people who were in front of him had their back to him. The people who were in front of him had their back to him, separating there. So all that stuff about saying he put his hands on me is bull crap.
No, he did. He was touched. He was touched, though, Mark.
All I can say is the camera might not show
The
there.
head coach touched him.
The head coach touched him.
And he bald and short.
The assistant coach was between them that both were mainly facing him onto the side. And Juwan Howard, you could tell from where he went, he didn't go a regular slap this way. He had to reach over those people to slap downward on him. He wasn't touched. He lied right there. He tried to cover himself to make an excuse out of it. All right?
Maybe somebody kicked him. Maybe somebody kicked him. We didn't see that.
Okay.
I told you the assistant.
Hold on.
They all look alike to Juwan Howard.
Jeremiah, let me there. Terry, got you. Anyway, so after all of that, I'm not tripping off him. I don't have anything against Juwan Howard. I like Juwan Howard. He just definitely he paid for my bullets, and he became the most overpaid player in the history of sports, based on his talent margin. Yes. So. But I'm not mad at him. But the thing is that he has a problem, and who he got into it. You're right, Jeremiah. He got into it. Oddly enough, speaking of my hometown, he got into it with the former Maryland head coach Mark Turgeon, and he made a threat: "I will kill you." Juwan Howard has an anger management issue. He doesn't know how to control and contain himself. I never saw that out of him. Maybe I stereotyped the fact that he was this light skinned. I didn't see that, and I get it, but. He's got a problem, and a message needed to be sent. I would have said they probably may not have gone to the tournament. You're right; they could go into some of these other small terms. I doubt they would have gone if they didn't make the NIT. But I think if they didn't go to the NCAAs, they would go to the NIT. I would suspend them to a certain point. I would also make sure it carried over. If it didn't extend to the postseason, if they didn't do any postseason after the regular season, then or the tournament, because I think he's gonna be able to coach in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
I would make sure that he missed a good number of games where if it didn't happen in the postseason, he'd miss the first couple games of the
He
season.
got
A message needed.
suspended for the rest of the season.
Rest of the regular season.
And
I
then
got
he
a question for you.
then he got
Mark,
fined
Jim, I got a
$40,000.
question for y'all.
Okay,
Why
let
do y'all
me
think his
co-host.
suspension is so long? Why should it
Hold
be
on.
longer?
Okay, hold on, Terry. Let
Because he has a problem,
let
Terry.
Phil
He has a
come on
problem,
in.
and a message
Okay.
needs to be sent. Shouldn't be fired, but I think he needs to feel this, and I don't think he's feeling it.
What do you got, Phil?
Well, I'm going to try and be the one on here that's actually going to tell the truth.
We liars.
Now,
Call me a liar?
Yes, he did.
no, I'm not.
Don't slap him. Don't slap him.
I'm not saying that there's been lies told. I just want to try and put everything into a nice bow and wrap it up, because you all literally did, by and large, come with the truth. Matter of fact, it came so much with the truth that Terry altered his version that we wanted.
He said, "I didn't know that."
But anyway, look, I want to take this into a few different directions. You know, I don't know if you all might have watched the show. I do a show that's In the Room with Vance Bradford, and last week I just happened to be talking about.
I can only take watching Vance, but so many times.
I just happened to be talking about causation and reaction. You see, and this was clearly another case of someone's causation and how someone reacted to it. Yeah, I was reading a story. A well-known writer wrote the story up that Juwan Howard walked up, poked the guy in his chest, and then said some stuff to the guy, took his mask down and said some stuff to the guy. And I'm like, hold it. The guy literally grabbed Juwan Howard and impeded his progress first. And then Juwan took, the mask down, and then Juwan grabbed him in the chest and released it really quickly, right? And then went for the pointing. But even while he was pointing, the coach was still on him as in an impeding fashion. Now, Juwan, totally wrong. He's not wrong about one thing, Mark. He did get touched, just not by that assistant coach that you are so correct that he
thought they looked alike.
No, but what happened is this, and the reason I want to take this to here, that assistant coach, if you'll notice, he came from out of frame into frame, trying to get through people to get to Juwan Howard. And it was just the fact that it was people in between, whereas Juwan Howard basically is like, you want to get to me? Well, look, I'll reach on over that pile and just kind of run my hand down the side of your face some. So Juwan was definitely wrong for that. But here's where we get into this. When I talk about reaction and causation and getting into it, Juwan Howard, as Mark said, he has an anger management issue. Mark's famous former coach of Maryland, again, what did Juwan Howard do? Last year, he was doing a head sign to one of his players. And one of the guys on the bench for Mark's former head coach said something to him. Juwan, and he got into it. And Mark's coach, former great coach, charged at Juwan Howard. And that's when he and Juwan Howard were getting into it. And Juwan Howard is a victim of his own lack of anger control, whereas they both got a technical. Juwan Howard, again, still was going after him and got ejected from the game. Now, this is where I thought the Michigan program, the athletic director, you cannot tell me at a big-time program the athletic director does not come in. Juwan Howard, they have a problem at Michigan with their whole behavior system. He got into it with his player. What's his name? Livers or
Livers, yeah.
Livers. They're into an argument on the bench, and they're really going at it back and forth. And Juwan ends up walking off. The guy, the player interviews afterwards. He said, This is how we do it. This is basically how we go at it in practice and things. This is our normal thing. Really? Something's wrong right there. You cannot tell me that athletic director has not seen that before. So I'm going to tell you all that I think that this is the time for a teaching moment. This is the time where Juwan Howard is not. I think the 5 games, personally, I think the 5 games are enough. I think that this is a teaching moment. This is a time where you need to say to Juwan Howard, enough's enough. It's time for you to get some behavior management. And by the way, folks, I just want to say that I am a certified anger management specialist. So I'll let your boy.
I like you, boy.
Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil. Are you been shut up in a cave or something? Because you sure is very talkative tonight, man. You not be able to talk all week, or you just making up for us not coming on last week? Because you very talk. Every answer you've been given, we got a clock up here, so you can't lie. Every answer you've given has been going 4 to 5 minutes each time.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Phil, hold on. Before you try to respond, I want you to know this version of Jeremiah, this is what you built. So go ahead.
Yeah, you sure have. Yes. Hey, Mark, I'm with you when you're right, boy.
This is what you made.
All I want to say is, I want to make sure that I'm correct at this. This is not the Jeremiah Watts that just 2 shows ago went on a 7-minute and 34-second rant. Ouch! That's not the guy that's talking about my 3-minute conversations, right?
We got a clock
Tell
up
everybody,
here.
co-host. And you
I'm just asking.
But
yeah, drink your wine. Go ahead and just drink your wine.
He did say that wine was good. He did.
It's real good tonight.
It might be that good. Is that Pinot or something?
I don't do Pinot.
He got the gun showing and flexing every time he talk.
Come on,
Phil's on one tonight, boy.
I'll piggyback on. Hey, Phil, to piggyback on. I know we could probably football. I'm gonna say this. Michigan has you're right about that. Michigan has had a long history of pristine behavioral at that campus. I mean, it's not like they've had a gymnast or a doctor fill up on all the women and sex. I mean, it's not like you never had somebody like Harbaugh, who's about as sane as all get out. He's very, very nice and stuff like that. So they've been really good.
Well, I'm about like someone else. They said what Juwan should have been getting mad at about somebody calling a timeout. He didn't. He should have gotten mad and wanted to fight Chris Webber when he called a timeout.
You're wrong for that.
He couldn't beat Chris Webber. He couldn't beat him.
That's just wrong.
That's wrong. Hey, you're right though. That weapon was something else though.
It's supposed to be such a highly esteemed academic institution.
Sure.
Okay, y'all. Real quick, man. This is a good point. Let's take a quick station break, y'all. Guys, you just tuned in to TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach, y'all. You tuned in to In the Room, and tonight's episode is Sports Talk. So this is what I like to transition, and we're going to go right into our first favorite segment of the night. And it's a segment which we call Thinking Outside the Box with my main man, T-Rex. T-Rex!
You got a butt down on. You got a butt down. It's going to be good.
Hey, he talking about oil prices. He talking about money.
We're going to talk about money. First of all, this war is already costing us money here out in California. Our prices are expected to go up to about maybe just a little bit under $6 or above $6 a gallon for regular. So that's kind of crazy. But I understand with this possible invasion of Ukraine that Russia is the third largest oil producer in the world and the biggest producer for Europe. And I'm still trying to understand how's that going to affect us. Well, I did some research, and Biden does not think we're going to get a chance to release some of our reserves to keep the price down. So then again, the American public is paying for under the table for a war that's has nothing to really do with us other than freedom for someone else. Second thing is we have so much crude oil in reserves. Last year, sometime they released, I think it was 50 million barrels or something like that. I might have the million, might have been billion. Didn't get the right letter in the front, but it might
I would
be.
say billions.
It was billions,
I
and
would think that.
it probably was. It kept the prices down a little bit, but in the major cities and out west, it didn't do much of a little dent to it. We always have with the taxes. So my relief to everybody is to keep gas up as you can now before it starts happening. Gas up all your vehicles if you have more than one, and pray to God that this war doesn't happen. And most of all, try to get your voice heard locally to your people so that they can start, trying to figure out what we're gonna do about this taxes and everything. I know that on the oil, I know it's a propaganda that we might drop the taxes. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's pure propaganda. They're not going to save any money. But I want everybody to understand what this war will affect us on. I don't really think it's going to be troops on the ground, that many, but I think it's going to be an economic struggle, which we're already trying to recover from the pandemic. So talk to your city's government, your local government, your state government, and anybody else that listen to you, and let them know that we shouldn't have to pay. It's nice to help somebody, but we shouldn't have to suffer for them. So with that said, that's T-Rex. I'm outside the box, and I definitely don't want to pay $6 a gallon for some gas.
So if you don't
know, if you don't know, now you know.
All right, T-Rex, man, we appreciate you, man.
Look at Mark shaking his head.
Because I sure don't want to.
See what happened when you go too long.
But y'all out in California, man, y'all might used to that six a gallon, man.
Man,
No, we ain't. But
we
ain't. We used to what you about to get.
Yeah. So thank you, Terry, for thinking outside the box, man. And want to give a quick shout out, man. We got some folks looking at us. Bella, she showed up again, man. And I found out too, man. And Terry, why don't you give a shout out to some of the folks, man, that you got, man, and just give us a couple shout outs and
I already gave it to them on the website, but I always give a shout out to my chapter brothers. They are here in San Bernardino, California, the alumni chapter. Also to the Nine Vine out here. That's everybody, all the sororities and fraternities out here. I want to give a shout out to, and I will be contacting you guys personally pretty soon, and once everything works out.
My man, appreciate it, Terry. Doing some good work behind the scenes. I love it.
So, Terry, are you like a national spokesperson? The reason Vance mentioned that?
No, not just trying to get some things started. We are just so you'll know, the work out here that all the fraternity sororities do is really important, and I just like to bring that to light. And so I talked to Vance about a few things, and that's what I like to bring to light. I'm sure California is no different than my chapter in Southern California here. The alumni chapters are no different than anyone else across the world. I just think that it's time that young minority children get an opportunity to see that people that look like them are still trying to fight for them. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, now they're trying to fight now. I've seen that.
No, they ain't trying to punch and fight. They just literally trying to get the word out.
Vance, what happened when you went over?
We went over.
Yeah, you went.
They just
over
gave us some Kool-Aid, right, Vance, and call it a day.
Yeah, you went over to somebody.
I had a fresh shirt though, with that dog on it.
Yeah,
and a nice haircut.
It's fight night.
We had that. We kept that, huh? But anyway, Terry, I appreciate you, man, and we're gonna be looking forward to doing some things, man.
Okay.
And we appreciate your support and your frats and all the frats out there that's out there, and
yeah, and all your fricks too.
You my friend. You out
That's
there.
that's a couple of GDIs down there. So. But yeah, Terry, man, I appreciate it. So we're gonna keep moving. Matter of fact, since we've been,
excuse me, Vance, just for a second.
Go ahead.
Because I get the feeling you keep trying to avoid Bella.
Oh,
no, I said hello, Bella.
No, because Bella keeps asking you, what about those Rams?
Yeah. Oh, well, shoot, that Bella. I mean, you led me right into. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Bella, he's really not a fan. He doesn't care.
Led to the number one quarterback, the Super Bowl quarterback. Who was that? Who was the Super Bowl quarterback?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Not this year. Last year was Tom, but this year,
What are you pointing at?
that brain. That
Are you pointing at
something that you don't have? Something that's in between.
Oh, I thought you put on your Rams hat that you bought after they won the Super Bowl.
Now I'm not going to sit here and say I picked the Rams for the Super Bowl because I wouldn't.
Sure, why not? You picked winners.
I was riding with Tampa Bay,
but
I
did
did
winners
pick
when they win.
Stafford, Matthew to lead.
You did have him on your national fantasy team.
Yeah, he's going to be a bad boy. And so anyway, Mark, we're going to move on. Anyway, so fellas, man, our first two questions, led to some good talking. So what we're going to do is jump right in to our second favorite segment of the night. I want to hear this one, man. And it's a segment that we call just a doggone minute. And it's by the host of the Two Dogs Sports Talk out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Mr. Jeremiah Watts. Jeremiah, what you talking about, man?
All right, just a doggone minute. It's out. Barkley said something this week, something I've been saying ever since last year when they signed this gentleman. The Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Who?
The Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
He got it right the second time.
This man showed just how much skills, and I'm not saying he made it to the NBA. I'm happy for him, and I know he got some kind of skills. But what he did in the All-Star game, meaning All-Star, the competition they had, this man better be glad that his brother was willing to give up part of his salary so he can still have a job. Because that's what they did. They took $3 million from the Greek Freak salary so they can give this man a salary so he can still have a job. There is no way this man should be on an NBA team. This man should be in the G League, right along with his little brother that can't shoot worth nothing that's in the G League. It is just ridiculous. He better hope that Antetokounmpo, his older brother, his middle brother, play for another 4-5 years so he can still have a job. Because it is just, this man is set to make 2 years, over $3.5 million guaranteed. To do nothing. To sit on the sideline and wave a towel. He can't shoot. He don't have a jumper. He barely can make layups. But this man got an NBA job because of his brother. More power to you. That's what you call nepotism at its finest. That's what you call nepotism at its finest. Because he got his brother a job for $3 million to do nothing.
I'm glad he did, Jeremiah.
So I'm proud of him. Yeah. Way to go. Because if Greek Freak league, this man ain't gonna be in the league no more. He done for. This is his. I'm supposed to give you some of his stats real quick. I got about 1 minute.
You got stats?
Yeah, I got stats, man.
What's even more, Church said he thinks he has one more minute, man.
This is this man's stats.
Like as if he only did 1 minute, Phil.
His average.
But he still started it though. See,
his average is 2.8 points a game. He averaged 9 minutes a game.
2 points in 9 minutes.
He averaged 2 rebounds a game, and this is career average. And he been in the NBA league 4 years. And this man got a 2-year contract, guaranteed $3 million, $3.5 million. For real, that is crazy. That don't make no sense. And I just want to give the Greek Freak a hand clap because he got the Milwaukee Bucks to give his brother a job, and he got his other brother in the G League. All right, congratulations, because it ain't because of skills. And I'll be doggone, I'm out.
I would think that that his brother is there, and it's going to save them quite a bit of money from hiring somebody else to follow him around and probably some psychotherapy. Believe me when I tell you, that's why he's there, Jermaine.
But you know, I'm glad it's happening. So if you want to talk about some nepotism, Lord have mercy, man. But we're gonna wait till the free for all, Jeremiah. I got to come back.
I know whose brother ain't gonna get in the NBA. But go ahead.
Okay, well we got to come back because when you said nepotism,
it rhymes with
finest. Ooh. I started had that little. Remember you seen that little baby that run up there and slap my.
Hold on. I just want to know, what is Seth Curry doing to Doc Rivers' daughter? The reason why Doc Rivers keep getting rid of him every time he on the team. Doc Rivers, every time there's a trade and he on Doc Rivers' team, he's in the trade every time.
Because teams would want him. They want a shooter.
No, man, that father, he doing something reason that father-in-law keep getting rid of him off his team.
You know what he's doing to his daughter? You know what he's doing to his daughter?
Hey.
Yeah, man, I think he's turning.
It's probably because he's too close to the house and he'll drop by to see his baby. and Seth show up with a robe on. Hey, Dad. She up there.
Anyway, man.
You're wrong, Mark.
No, I'm not. That's what's happening.
Extended just a doggone minute. Let me tell you that if we tune in to TAN TV, the African American Network, well, we have a local feel with the global reach, y'all. We're having fun tonight, man. It's a great night. We done had our first 2 favorite segments. So let's jump into our next question, y'all. I'm gonna start out with you, Phil, and give me your opinion, man, on this All-Star weekend. I mean, you know, from the skills test to the 3-point to the dunk contest to just talk about the game, really. Let's just go straight to the game. Let's just talk about straight to the game.
We can talk. I found something else I'm gonna get into actually.
Okay, then well, that's good. Okay, so we're gonna talk about.
It's actually a subject I want to get into. I just remembered it. But go ahead.
Cool,
so we can talk.
Let's talk about this thing called the All-Star Weekend. Philip, man, what's your opinion on that whole weekend?
And I know you got one. I can look at your hand on your chin.
Mark, I know you didn't hear this because you came late in the pregame warm up, and Vance kept going off screen to get his hat right, so he probably missed it when I said I didn't watch any All-Star weekend except for LeBron hitting a shot at the end to win the game. That's it. That's my All-Star weekend.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Then, you know, Okay, well,
And
let's
that
move on.
and that
because-
scream you heard was Vance after he hit the shot, wasn't it?
Not at all. I'm glad for LeBron because I've heard he's crying. I heard he wants to get out. I heard he wants to run. But anyway,
Well,
Terry,
you obviously heard wrong, Vance.
let's stay on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vance. You didn't hear wrong.
No,
You just
let's not
heard
get on
from some
LeBron
of
just yet.
your Jordanaire partners.
Oh, yeah, don't get off.
Oh, speaking of Jordanaires, Vance, Jeremiah, bring up that Jordan thing you brought up.
No, not yet. Not yet.
No,
We're gonna
I
get
know.
that Terry talk. We're talking All-Star right now. We're gonna come back to the King James
Yeah.
and the real King. But
Yeah,
Terry,
well,
what do you think about? Did you get a chance to catch any other All-Star festivities?
Well, I caught the young man out of Atlanta doing a good thing, and the young man out of Memphis. Both of them play guard. They did a good thing. Young and I forgot the cat's name from Murray State.
Morant.
Yeah, they showed their talents. But from what I saw, it wasn't nothing but a shoot fest for the light skinned brother from Golden
The
State.
light-skinned brother.
I just thought I'd say that for you, Mark. You know, Kirby was just
He
popping
got
them
light
off,
eyes
man.
too.
He was popping them off, and the crowd was going crazy.
He had to make up for LeBron's bricks.
Yeah, he
He
did have
shot
a
some
bunch of
bricks
them.
from
He did have a
deep.
bunch of them.
He finally hit one, but I ain't gonna
But
say that.
he
was
rallied
2
them.
for
And
11.
I thought he put on a pretty good 3-point shooters, especially when he shot that one and just didn't even watch it go and just turn around and start like he was the man. That was amazing. I mean, that one was probably from I would say maybe at 5 feet outside the 3-point line, and he hit that and just turned around and walked away. He knew it was money. He knew it was money then. So that was really exciting. Like I said, I like to watch the youngsters play. I didn't see too many people come off the deep bench, but I'm sure it was good for the charitable programs that they gave the money to. LeBron gave like what $450 million to each state,
Not million.
and
They're like about 360, 370.
oh, okay. Yeah, and the other one gave out a lot of money too. I forgot what he gave. I think he gave to Feed the Homeless in Cleveland, which are two outstanding programs.
Yeah, that was Durant. Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was outstanding. So that's what I took away from the game.
What do you see? What do you say, JW?
The skills challenge wasn't bad. That was pretty good. 3-point challenge. It wasn't real exciting because you didn't really have no real top 3-point shooters in the tournament. You wanted to see if Big Cat was gonna shoot the lights out, but he did what he did, and he won a 3-point shootout. That other contest remind me of that raggedy NFL All-Star game. That's basically what the dunk contest remind me of. It was pretty atrocious. It was terrible. They need to do something about it because what went on Saturday night with the dunk contest, the NBA need to be ashamed of themselves, for real.
How's that their fault?
Because they want to let them scrubs in there to be dunkers.
Wow.
Get somebody off the street. I'm like Stephen A. Get somebody off the street that can do better than that. It reminded me, like I said, of the NFL All-Star game where they was playing touch football with pads on. And then the game was what it was. You're not supposed to see these multi-million-dollar players really playing hard because it's not like back in the day where they didn't make a lot of money, and so they played because the money that they was winning they needed. But these cats here, someone sitting the bench is making $10 million, so they're not really hurting for money. Everybody that's in the All-Star game is making over $20 million. So, but at the end of the game,
not John Morant.
The last
Him and Ball on their rookie contract.
Yeah,
that's true. The last 24 points they got competitive and made it real interesting. Like I said, Steph can shoot like that with his eyes closed, especially if nobody's playing defense on him. So that didn't really excite me too much because he do that all the time in practice and every time doing warm up. So that wasn't really exciting to me. But LBJ, he hit the last shot after missing 2 for 11 at the 3-point line, which was good for him. So
2 for 11.
Yeah, he's 2 for 11. But he
Yeah,
did his thing. So
yeah.
he did his. He played good. His team won, and it was all. Now it's time for the real deal to start this Thursday.
All right, Mark, what you got? Let's hear it from Mark. Close it up real quick.
I'd say, and I was going to say this before, everybody needs to temper their expectations in these all-star games, man. They are what they are. It's changed a lot, not only just because of money, but we kind of know who's going to be in it. It's just a surprise for the newer kids like LaMelo, John Morant got voted in. Everybody knows who it is. I mean, it's different now. I mean, you had people coming off the bench making the all-star team. Dennis Rodman, Bobby Jones. They were 6 men. They were 6, 7 men make the all-star team. You don't see any 6 men or people come on the bench make the all-star team no more. So, temper your expectations. The dunk contest is a feast or famine. It's either a really good one or it sucks. So you go, okay, it sucks this year.
Incentives should be better?
No, it just happens to be who they get in it. Because what those guys are trying, those guys were trying to do it, they were missing. Believe me when I tell you, I've seen Cole Anthony at high school age, and I've seen Jalen Green in high school, the high school age play. Those fools can get up and do a lot of dunks. Now, I won't lie to you, the sadistic side of me thought it was very stupid of Cole Anthony putting on Timberland, and I was really ready to watch him slip and fall and bust himself side to behind with it, And I thought it was very funny how he kept moving his daddy's arm like to say, Dad, you're not holding the right spot. He wanted to take the heat off of him. So, to be honest with you, y'all have a short memory. We always have short memory. We complain about a bad dunk contest, but we forget last year's dunk contest was worse than this. Who won last year?
Well, I don't remember. Yeah, I can't.
Exactly. I don't know. And I forgot one, but I remember Obi Toppin was in, and that's who I picked to win it this time. Obi Toppin, I forget who it was that won last year. And look, they did it with, I know it was a pandemic. They didn't even have anybody they really wanted to because only had 3 people. They pulled up Cassius Stanley from the damn
so Mark, the just like the 3-point is a good thing. The dunk was always good.
Anthony Towns, all you had to do is whisper in his ear and say, hey, look, this is for all the marbles. He would have missed. He missed when they count.
But anyway, but what I'm saying is, do you think the incentive for the dunk contest could be better to get the better dunkers?
No, there is nothing you can do because they're making so much money. There is nothing you can do to get them. I don't think it has anything to do with that,
Jim. I get what you're saying. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Who else will you want to get? Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon have done what they can do. What else can you? You'll be tired to see them do the same thing. So who else?
Other jumpers in the
you got other folks, but nobody's really in the NBA because you got social media. So a lot of times the dunk contest was used as a way to catapult your stardom to the next level.
Right.
Jordan used the dunk contest. Jordan used the dunk contest to catapult his stardom to the next level. Now
you use it, but it happened.
You got social media. You got social media. You got all this other stuff. You don't. Hold on,
Jeremiah. The dunk contest became something magnanimous because it was something they did in the ABA. Dr. J made it, so everybody wanted to kind of get it. It was something. Mm-hmm. It's gotten a little old. It's gotten a little different. All those guys are guys who wanted to be in this. They want to be in this, and you get to the point where I believe they looked at but they got on that big stage because that's a bigger stage now. You're not just looking at the fans in the audience now. You got your peers, you got legends in there. They're watching you, mm-hmm. and they're trying to do dunks to come up with it, and it just didn't work. So. Look, rant all you want about it. You'll forget about it in a week or two. Don't worry.
You know what? One of the major problems that I've seen for years with the dunk contest are people like Jeremiah. The expectations you have for somebody to come up with some kind of fantabulistic.
No. The expectation I have is don't miss 5 times in a row,
But
and
still,
then you get it right the last time. Then
but
you're looking
still,
around for a 10.
if people come out there
Yes.
and do a really nice dunk that would really look good. Oh, he didn't have enough swirl. He didn't have enough.
No,
he
I don't do
flip
that.
Upside down.
I don't
and
do that.
Come back and dunk it. No,
I don't do that.
I'm just saying that's where so much of the problem come in is the expectation that you expect
Right.
from that. Because you look at an evolution, you say, oh, well, they did this back then. They've got to come up and do this. Oh, they did this. They've got to come up and do that. It gets hard to do stuff after Zach
issue, like but like you said,
Gordon.
Jeremiah, like you said, after what Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine did, it's gonna be hard to follow. You need to start doing somersaults.
I understand that, but my thing is you can't miss 2 and 3 times in a row, and then you finally make it, and now you say, I need a 10.
No, I totally understand that.
That's what you gotta ask for.
That part of the problem with it is the audience.
Do your best and hope for the best, right?
That's what I'm saying.
But Jeremiah, they're not grading them on the missed dunks. They're grading them on the dunks on the one that goes in.
Yeah, they want.
So if you don't want them to have that many dunks, then you change the rules to say, hey, look,
I've been
you only getting 2 attempts. I've
been saying that too. I think
if
they
you
need
look
to
at
change the rules. If they change the rules, you will see them start making more and more dunks. You can't be a bird man.
Maybe so. But I was in. Do you remember how many dunks Nate Robinson missed and he won when he won? Do you remember how many dunks he missed when he won?
Oh. And there was a lot of complaints about that too.
It happens. So temper your expectations. Be pleasantly surprised when you see a Zach LaVine and an Aaron Gordon.
That's the whole thing. When you see
he makes 1 out of 5 tries, you should be surprised.
Like Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine did, it's like, hold it. It's time to have a respite for about a half a dozen seasons.
But you want to know what made what they did so special? It's because they didn't miss. They wasn't missing 2 and 3 dunks and then doing the dunk. They was making it on the first try.
A miss means you was almost out.
I can tell you right now, if they would have missed those dunks they tried on the first time, the second time those dunks would have still been wild gathers.
No.
It would have lost from
it's like
I did not. You cannot tell me that Zach LaVine going off the top like that. Aaron Gordon is basically sitting down and doing that dunk. If he'd have missed it the first time, got it the second time, you still wouldn't have been like, wow.
No, but he wouldn't have got a 10.
I didn't say about a 10. I said the wild factor.
So it's all about the points. It's all about the points.
They all deserve
you're not
5,
supposed to get a
somebody's
10,
gonna get a 6.
And you done missed 2 and 3 times before the dunk.
Jeremiah, look, they didn't want to miss them.
Mark, Jeremiah, see, you can always tell people
Phil,
that can't dunk.
Phil, we know you'll make them on the first time. You'll make them before you even shoot them. We already know that, Phil. You'll make them before you even shoot them.
You're not going to get an argument out of me for that.
I think
Jeremiah, if you miss 2-3 times trying to do what you could see would be a nice dunk, right? Like I think it was Jalen. Was it Jalen Greenham who was trying to scoop it? No, I think it was Toscano Anderson was trying to scoop it and twirl with the ball off the hand, which looked good. He just was like off center of the basket, right? Would you rather see him try those a few times and maybe finally get it, as opposed to somebody doing something like a regular list going up and boom?
I'm not fixing
and make it on the first time.
I'm not fixing to give you no 10 because you done lost the wow factor for the 10.
Who got a 10?
I might give you an 8 or a 7, but it
Who
still
was
don't mean
getting
that the
10?
dunk
Who?
contest is any good.
Did somebody get? When I looked at it, did somebody get 50s?
No,
Okay.
I bet you
Then what are
terms
you
on
It
worried
that.
about?
sounds like he having a flashback to the playground or something, and some kid done set up here and did a dunk for him to take his lunch money. What
Yeah, I mean,
was the deal?
these guys was not getting 10s. I don't remember. I looked at it. Me and my boys, we were looking at the Buffalo Wild Wings. I don't know if we can say
Where's no
Buffalo.
10s?
I don't know if we can say
No,
Buffalo
somebody
Wild
got a
Wings because
10.
they're
I
not
think
sponsoring us.
Yeah, that
it was one
I
person
was at
getting
a
a
certain
10.
establishment. Okay, so some of them got 10s, but nobody got 50s.
No, nobody
I
got a
don't
50.
call
But
anybody.
that's what I'm saying. But I don't. But the
But they
dunk
can at least
contest.
ask for it, right, Jeremiah? A closed mouth don't get fed.
Oh, man. Okay, Mark.
Mark,
With
you know
that, man,
dunk contest
let's do a
suck.
station break, man. And
No,
Forget you, man. Don't be trying to shut it down and then change it up because you ain't like what I said.
Your third favorite show. Yeah, man, we're gonna just transition to something that you may know what you're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You just tune in to TAN TV, the African American
Am I wrong? A closed mouth don't get fed. Go ahead.
and a global reach, y'all. I go on and shout to everybody that's checked in with us, man, in and out.
Hey, everybody.
So we're gonna go to our third favorite segment of the night, man, and it's a segment that we call Mark's Rants. Mark, what you ranting about tonight, bro?
Are y'all familiar with Sydney Carter, Coach Sydney Carter? Coach Carter? Anybody familiar? Anybody remember who she is? Anybody know?
You talking about the woman that they've been talking about because of her
She's the
dress?
woman that coach. She's an assistant basketball coach in the women's team at Texas A&M University.
Yeah.
She played there. I think she played a little pro ball for a little while. Nice looking girl. Nice looking young.
I thought she was the head coach.
I got you, Jeremiah. I'll take it from here. I'll take it from here. Mute your mic. The thing is, and I saw this. It was on Twitter, and I'm gonna say this. There might have been some others, but all I saw was some white folks that was hating. Talking about as far as what she was doing just about basketball, because she's been wearing some very nice looking things. She has a kind of a shorter dress showing her legs. Also had a couple of short dresses showing her legs. They're fitted, so they definitely show off her curves. This is, we can't say what I want to say, but and then I think the one that really everybody's part of, she had these very tight pink leather pants on with some stilettos on her. They weren't red bottoms, but still they were high heel shoes. Yeah, she was doing it in commemoration to breast cancer awareness. She was wearing pink. You can see that she had a white sweater with a ribbon, a pink ribbon. And the type of hatred that she was seeing was, to me, was very, very bigoted, very racist towards her. And I just want to say, man, other than the fact that she wasn't naked or she wasn't showing body parts, she wasn't looking sexually suggestive. She looked good. She got the shape. All these basketball players in shape, they got shape. So if they wear clothes, they're gonna look good. But these white folks can't handle when they see black folks, especially black women, outdoing them. When they see that shape, they see that body. I'm gonna say it, Vance. They see that booty. They can't handle it. They want a taste of it, but they know they can't. Here's a looker, and now the best thing you can do is criticize and say, what does what she have on got to do with what she knows about the X and O's in the court? Not a damn thing. She's an assistant coach. Texas A&M University hasn't put any mandate on type of uniforms. The head coach, look, normally when you go to the head coach is the one that will put some sort of maybe mandate as to what he wants or he or she wants the coaching staff to wear. Like I've had, they supplied me with a couple of sweaters and what other kind of shirts. Sometimes we wore a shirt and tie and even some pants. We did that. Coach wore a suit, whatever. We wore that. But they don't have that. So she's free to wear what she wants. And I'm pretty sure if it was too overly suggestive, then the head coach would have said something about it, or she would have heard something from the athletic department in some way. None of that's being said, but everybody wants to put that out there about it. And we see all that, but I'm glad she's still on her own. Now, I'm going to throw in this little wrinkle. Buddy of mine who played college ball, in fact, he played at Oklahoma, said this. He said, might be propaganda to the whole thing. It's possible. It ran through my mind whether it's propaganda. Now you got some notoriety because everybody knows it's about women's basketball at Texas A&M. I don't know why it's a problem, but again, still in all, they got a problem when it's not. I don't say that they hate black. They don't. I think you said, or Terry may have said it earlier. They don't hate us. They hate that they can't be us. They really can't. They don't hate us. They're not trying to kick us out. Everybody trying to act like this virus. They ain't trying to kill us. They're not trying to kill us. They just want to keep us from actually taking over. And we won't do it anyway. That's like you said, man. We won't get together enough to do it. Scares the living daylights out of them to do so. So that's why when they look at a powerful looking, beautiful black woman that they saw, they can't handle it, man. But every last one of them white folks that had something to say would love to have gotten that sister in bed with them. That's the real there. So you don't like it, take it, have a problem with it. We don't give a damn. You understand? I'm out.
You know what, Mark? I like that, but they didn't say anything about the ladies that that be on ESPN. They be dressing all sexy in them sweaters and tight pants and stilettos.
I gotta be honest with you.
Damn, take your time, Terry. You sound a little creepy.
I don't know. I'm just saying. The women on TV.
Yeah, now, slow down and low tight. No, go ahead.
But really, the women on TV on sports, except for that one crazy NFL network, they talk about NFL in the morning, Good Morning NFL or something.
Yeah.
Most of the women they dress professionally, but they have fitting clothes on. And that's the all women of all colors that are doing the sports now. So I don't see it any. What's the big deal?
Well, they made a big statement about what Maria Taylor wore when she was on the sideline for ESPN. She had a leather type top and
perfect example. All those women, far few in between, ain't none of them real huge. They all are catching to someone's eye.
Just for sure.
And so what they doing and what they saying is a bunch of hogwash because everybody that these people hire is catching to someone's eye.
That's it.
The first two negative things I saw about her dress came from it was two black guys.
The black people the first ones to criticize black people, like y'all said earlier. We don't stick together. We don't stick together.
You get some that get scared. You know the type. What you doing out here with them clothes on? Mm-hmm. Put them pants back on, girl, and get you a good time. You the white folks gonna go crazy. You know them types.
It's the truth. It's the truth. We are worst critics, man. I don't know why we always got to jump on our own people, But hey, it is
Only thing I don't like about this is that she had a red mask on. The red mask didn't go with the pants.
She wasn't kind of coordinated.
No, she wasn't totally coordinated.
Well, man. Well, Mark, thank you for that rant. And it's something to look out, man. It never stops, man. It never stops. But we're gonna never stop fighting. So we're gonna turn it up, man. This is what I want to do though. Before we go, I want Phil. Phil, I want you to get your commentary in on this voting, and then we're gonna go in right after that. We'll go into the free for all, and then we're gonna be out of here. But I want you to get yours in, so we want to hear because this is a critical time now. Currently, if you're in Texas, we early voting is still this Friday, and then the primary voting is March the 1st. Am I correct? March 1st, right, Phil? Right. So tell us what you got, Phil.
Well, Vance just said everything that I was going to say.
Yeah. But ladies.
I do want to say that the importance of this, the early vote, if you're in Texas, it ends on the 25th of this month. And as Vance said, the primary vote starts on the 1st. Get out and vote. Now, the problem I'm having, people, is that I keep hearing stuff like the Democrats just aren't messaging well. They aren't selling stuff good. Well, it's hard to sell stuff good when the national media keeps talking about what you haven't done. Now, do the Democrats need to pump up more what they're doing? Yeah, they do. But you know what? we need to become not only better listeners, but we need to be able to look and see the past and work with it to the future. You do know in the past you haven't voted, you haven't gotten out and done things that are going to change the dynamic, put a leadership in that's going to do things to benefit you. You've seen the alternative in charge, and yet that's not enough for you to get up and say, let me go to the polls and vote, because if I don't, I know I'm not going to get anything that's going to be helpful for me. That's shame on you. Stop trying to blame other people. When I hear this nonsense about, well, the candidate just didn't say anything to fire me up. I don't care. You know what the alternative is. So why are you being so stupid, black and brown people? Why are you being so ignorant and not getting out and doing something that you know is going to benefit you? I've always said, these rural Republican voters who think, you know what? I'm gonna tell you right now, they do this just like some of the minority, the black and brown people do. You know, you look at that Republican party, and you know they're supposed to be basically the sophisticates, where the Democrats are supposed to be the common everyday people. And so what do a lot of people try to do? They want to, the whole purpose, especially a lot of immigrants, you want to move yourself up. So what do? You take what you say that easy course is, hey, I'm a Republican. And of course, that's doing nothing but working against you. That's working against yourself. And you know, it's amazing. The numbers are going up with blacks and Hispanics going over to the Republican Party. That's totally ludicrous. People, start thinking about, when do you get the best opportunities in your life? It's when the Democratic Party is in charge. I'm not saying all Republicans are bad. There just aren't any good ones in this Senate. And there's only 2 good ones in the House. So that's all I'm saying, is that get out, vote, do something that's going to work for you, and stop all of this nonsense of somebody's not giving me enough incentive to go vote. Having a better lifestyle should be enough incentive for you to want to go vote. Pitiful.
Man. So with that, Phil, thank you so much, because we definitely needed that. And make sure you guys get your early voting in this Friday and March 1st. Make sure you vote. But I wanted to ask you something, Phil. It's like,
yes, sir.
Okay. You know, I hear a lot of the preachers say, I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but why? What is it? It's like they don't want to say, hey, y'all, let's get together. Let's do this collectively. Let's vote as a church, even if you know what I'm saying?
Because they can't.
Unit. Why?
What do you
They
mean
can't.
they can't?
It's against the law. It's against the law. They cannot tell you who to go vote for. It's against the law for a pastor to tell his congregation who to go vote for.
But it's not against the party.
He's not making you vote. He's not making you vote.
No, but it's
Can he recommend it?
But it's against the law. It's like if they have one of them come to their church, they gotta be able to invite the other person to come too. Now it's up to them whether they come, but you gotta have both parties there. You cannot just invite
that ain't what
one.
I'm saying though. I'm talking about the vote, the actual vote, Jeremiah.
No, they cannot tell them who to go vote for.
No,
that don't make sense to me. Man.
So hold on,
That's just like our organization. We cannot tell our clients who to vote for because we got 501c3. But they do it. You can do it in a roundabout way.
Well, hold on, Jeremiah. Let's see what Phil say.
This is literally why I talk about the evolution and the old mindsets. And Jeremiah's not having an old mindset. He's speaking a truism there. you know, all a part of separation of church and state and things going in that nature, right? But that does not mean that the deacon, that does not mean that another parishioner, that does not mean that a person cannot come in as a speaker and say, because people come into churches all the time and talk about going and voting for someone else, voting for a particular person. So it does not mean that you cannot circumvent that easily.
Right. You can't.
Get it done.
You can circumvent it. But as
So
far as the
it's an
pastor
easy process.
cannot.
But it's an easy process to
What
do.
law is that?
Well, it's
It's a
probably because
law?
they get free tax money, and if they don't do it, they lose their tax money.
Look,
So if I'm the pastor and I say, hey, this candidate here is somebody that's for our church, that's doing the things we need, you know, and you know, if
But you're not
I'm the
telling-
pastor, I'm voting for this guy.
but you're not telling them.
That's exactly. I'm not telling them to vote for. I'm
You
just
can
saying.
talk about. You can
Well,
talk
why
about.
did I say you can? I'm not making nobody vote.
No. You can tell.
not
You can
making
say.
them
You can say. You can say that this person did A, B, and C for your district or whatever, but you cannot say that this is who I'm voting for. You cannot do that. That's against the law to do that. But you can say, well, this person did A, B, and C for our district. But
Why
if
is
you
that
bring
against
up,
the law, man?
but if you
I
bring
don't
up, but if you bring up in to speak, you have to invite the other person to come speak also. Now it's up to them whether they accept or whether they don't. But you have it there where you have invited them to come to your church. You can't just invite one set to your church.
So it's whether they, so if they don't want to accept, if they don't want to come or don't, you know, so
you did your part.
Yeah,
You
but
did
that's
your
what I'm saying. So if they ain't want to come, so why they say, hey, this is who we want to vote for?
But you have to say, but you have to. Most people, anyhow, if you invite a person to a church and the other person don't show up, for the most part, they're gonna vote for the one that came because that's who they know.
But what I'm saying,
so you literally don't have to really, especially an older generation, you really don't have to literally tell them this is because they're gonna vote for majority of the time on who they've been voting for the longest. But as a pastor, you cannot say, hey, as a congregation, we're gonna vote for such and such, or I'm voting for such and such.
That's crazy. That don't make sense to me, man.
Well,
you gotta separate church from state, man.
You got the most black folks that in a setting, and even with your organization, your organizations.
But Vance, there's just too many easy ways to circumvent that.
Yeah.
Why don't we see no circumventing happening? That's what I'm saying. Where's the circumventing? Is it private in the home?
You have to, because if you go with the separation of church and state and you get into tax laws and things that the churches get, you know, for being non-political, you notice I put that in quotation with the evangelicals. But Vance,
they're not political.
Yeah, but Vance, you cannot openly, directly endorse like that. You just can't. But it's so easy to circumvent it.
Yeah,
sorry to disappoint you, Vance.
You know, if the deacon is walking around and they having a conversation saying who they're gonna vote, but you cannot do that over the pulpit and stuff.
Over the pulpit,
that's against the law. You cannot bring a group together and say this.
There's a separate Vance, there is a separation between church and state, dude. That's straight. That's enough. Don't be act like it's brand new. Didn't you learn? Hey, Jerry, you went to school with it. Didn't you learn that?
Y'all can't talk about voting at the picnic. At the picnic,
Vance, they can walk around.
Vance. That is a circumvent. If you have, if I see you at the picnic and me and you having a conversation, that's a way you can circumvent it. Man, if I see you at the picnic, maybe you should having a conversation.
Somebody
That
Google
don't make sense. I don't
circumvent
see it
and
happening.
Senate
You want to
debate.
circumvent
Because you don't see it happening, don't mean that it's not happening. Because you see it
Mark
all the
said-
Man,
time.
we ain't voting,
Mark said
Jeremiah.
somebody
They
need to-
they
We
they
gotta
just
please
they might
folks
not
to
be
vote.
vote. They
We
might
gotta
not
pass
be
folks to
voting.
vote.
They might not be voting, but it don't mean that people are not doing what you saying.
Exactly. Vance has been saying that legally you cannot. Not saying it ain't happening. Like you ain't supposed to have been selling them drugs you've been selling, but you do. Oh, my bad. Are we still on the air?
Man, that just don't make sense to me, dude.
Well, Vance, that's the way they keep.
Vance,
That's the way they keep
lives
people from
and
a
voting.
lot of the
livelihoods.
a lot of the laws don't make sense.
Okay, but
It's
know,
like
Those
it's
laws
like
been on the books
when
for
they
hundreds
voted
of years.
when they voted gave us another 99 years of voting rights. Like what are we supposed to do? We supposed to be extinct as black people?
Yeah, I don't even
So
see that. Hey, that makes no
it's all
sense.
it's none of the they got a lot of laws on the books that's still on the books that don't make
Well,
sense.
but that's an
We're
actual.
still 3/5 of a
Look,
man on the books.
That's actually
Yeah, that's
a
it.
good one, though, Jeremiah. When you look at your rights that can be taken away by just the stroke of a pen, because if you really want it concrete in the Bill of Rights or so, then you know what you have to do. You have to give up
Thank you,
that
Bella.
and go
Bella
in
came through.
to getting like what 2/3 of the states to vote for you. And if you lose out on that, then guess what? That means you don't have any rights to vote or anything.
Afia, we should just have voting rights, period. There's not a Caucasian 90, they got 99 years to vote. No, it shouldn't be about race. It should be across the board, period. If you're American,
But you know what?
You have voting rights, period.
But
And we
Jeremiah,
know that's not the way it is.
Fear is something else,
Jeremiah.
Fear is real.
Jeremiah, the thing is this. One, look, the whole initial reason that you don't have
I understand why we don't.
Huh?
I understand why we don't and all that. I'm just saying what should be.
Yeah,
that's not.
Look,
I understand why we don't. I'm not disputing why we don't have it.
I should be a gazillionaire, but I'm not. Am I wrong? Wrong?
Hey, if we see your background in that mansion, we don't know what you are.
But you are out of the program.
Hey, Phil, if I say something,
millionaire,
man, make you feel good.
Well, I tell you what, man.
I don't know exactly what you said, Phil, but Bella Black said you got that right, Mr. Townsend. So I know you don't get a chance to hear that very often. I know you don't get a chance to hear that very often, so I wanted to make sure that was highlighted for you.
Well, fellas, I do. Hey, Bella, I do want to thank you for her comment.
Larry came on too and hollered at us.
Yeah, Larry. What's happening? I saw that. I was gonna give him a shout out. You see what? You put it back up, Laura. Yeah.
He said he's in the town. He's in town.
Quick question.
Hey, L Dub, what kind of clothes does your coaching staff wear? Let me tell you something. I'm looking through all more tweets, and they've showed some tweets and white, especially the white woman that I forget that used to be at Baylor, the one that Brittany Griner complained on afterwards, that McCulkey or something like that, and she had on leather pants and high heel shoes.
Does she have a booty?
No. That's not go too far, Terry. We already know that. We already know that. And and they also showed another white woman wearing a blue leather dress and some heels. On the court. Head coaches. Now,
hey, quick question. CP3 being out 6 to 8 weeks. How do you think that's going to affect Phoenix?
They're gonna lose some ground in their league. He definitely anchors them.
Oh yeah, they're gonna miss their.
He definitely anchors them.
Booker may step up. I like Book.
Yeah, he's changed life for Booker, but it'll be something to get used to. I mean, He might try to come back early. That's the thing too.
Will they still be able to hold that lead, or will Golden State overtake them?
Well, it's possible they may. I think
Well,
they're going to lose some ground. They only have a 6-game lead right now, so they can lose some ground. But I wouldn't.
CP3 is big
Look,
loss.
they're going to be in the top 1 or 2 seed in the playoffs anyway. So once Chris Paul gets back, if they stay relatively healthy, by the time playoffs start, it won't make that much difference.
look,
How long is he projected to be out, Jim?
6 to 8
6 to 8
weeks.
weeks. That's what he said
Look.
at the top, man.
I
Listen,
was
pay
doing
attention.
something. Look, I'm producing, man. I'm answering questions
But
and stuff like
the
that.
number, the number
There
one.
you go. He's gonna throw his weight around. Phil, hold on, Phil. Go ahead and finish. Tell us about everything you do. Go ahead, man.
I'm answering questions. I'm getting stuff like we got a. Did you know this? We got a guy that's running
Spit it out.
for Attorney General in Texas.
What?
The Attorney General in Texas. He was going to be the first Black Attorney General in Texas. His name is
Is he
Lee
watching the
Merritt.
show? Is he watching the show?
Well, it came on, so evidently,
If he was not watching the show, it don't mean nothing.
Hey, I have another question. In the
But it
East,
does.
in the
So,
East.
Damn that.
Oh, huh?
Yeah.
You did not get
Lee
my
Merritt in.
answer.
I go through the whole.
Well, we
Attorney
was
General
trying to
just
get your
have to
answer,
think he wasn't
but
paying attention.
Vance keep talking
No,
about the
Vance
Attorney
interrupt-
General.
No.
Vance
I
interrupted.
just throwing
Look.
it in, Mark.
Look, Vance interrupted, but Vance threw in a very important thing about Texas and a guy running for the state's attorney general position, Lee Merritt. Lee Merritt is an outstanding lawyer in Dallas. I'm familiar with him and the law office that he's a part of, and they are. When I tell you they are really some big time guys, if you look, you've seen Lee Merritt handling some of the big time cases that have happened over the past couple of years. So he's an outstanding lawyer. The thing is that hopefully there's enough recognition of who he is that he'll get the votes, because he'll be a really good one. But anyway, Phoenix Suns. Yeah, but who's
that's
to
what
say
I'm
that
talking
Golden
about right
State,
there.
when they get Draymond Green and Andrew Wiseman back, that they weren't going to make that push anyway if CP3 were on the court? I say it's going to really depend on what the schedules are, how each one of them the schedule match up, because it's not like CP3 is going anywhere. He's going to be right there courtside and throwing his stuff in. So Phoenix will be fine. Monty's got that team doing what they need to do, so they'll be fine. But yeah, that doesn't mean they won't fall back behind Golden State though. But
Now in the East, you have Philly.
You do know that the Lakers are going to win the
Okay,
NBA.
in the East, you got Philly, you got Brooklyn, you have the Bulls, and you have there's one more. And Milwaukee.
The Nets.
In Milwaukee.
No, you said
You got
Cleveland?
Philly,
Cleveland?
the Nets,
Cleveland?
Milwaukee. So
Yes, Mark.
okay,
Cleveland.
say for instance, Kyrie is able to play home games because they changed the mask mandate.
Who cares about Kyrie? I'm sorry, my bad.
Will with Ben Simmons, and I know, Mark, you think Ben Simmons is worthless, but
I can prove it. But
what I'm saying with this cast of players that they have in Brooklyn, and because he don't have to shoot, he just got to facilitate, play defense, and rebound. Do you think Brooklyn will have enough to overtake if Kyrie is able to play both home and away, or do you think Philly or Milwaukee can take over?
Oh, me first. One. Stop trying to say that Ben Simmons don't have to shoot. He won't shoot. Or guess what? Now he'll hear the pressure and he's going to try to shoot. And that's probably going to be even worse. Kyrie, honestly, other than having somebody else really great around him, what else can he do? He can't carry a team.
No,
He
I'm
puts a
not talking
lot
about
of points. He does a lot of
guaranteed. I know that.
so
We know
so
that.
him being able to play. I mean,
But I'm talking about
hasn't that
I'm talking
has
about
that
with
opportunity
KD.
for New York to change the law coming past now?
No, that's what they're talking about within the next week or two.
Okay.
I
But
tell you what,
what I'm looking at, you got the Nets. You have Drummond, you have Seth Curry, you have KD, Kyrie, Ben Simmons, you got Aldridge, you got the light skinned boy.
How is, speaking of light skinned boy, how is Ben Simmons mental health? Is he getting back to being able to play now?
hey, Mark, sometimes you need a change. You just need to change the scenery.
Yeah,
and you do what you have
he
to do. You weren't saying that when James Harden was clowning. Listen, to me,
Yes,
yes,
I was.
when,
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Harden did what he had to do to get out.
He was.
Harden was tired.
Harden
Harden was tired of Kyrie's mess. Harden was tired of Kyrie's mess. That's all
no,
it
I'm
was.
talking about before that when he was getting out
Out of Houston.
Yeah.
And let's see something here. He pulled his hamstring and was a non-factor in the postseason, which most people feel that probably hurt them beating Milwaukee, who won the championship. So how did that work out for James Harden?
Shut up. Man.
No. He told me to shut up, Phil. I must have struck a nerve with Trey.
I try to tell people this. See.
How did that work out, man?
Sometimes you just have to watch your lion eye.
You didn't do nothing.
Go
ahead, Phil.
No, I'm just saying. Sometimes you just have to watch. You just have to watch your lion eye. It's kind of like I always say. If you look at LeBron James and his scoring, you're like, he ain't really doing nothing. And the next thing you know, you look up, he'll end up potentially being the leading scorer in the league. You look at Ben Simmons. Everybody always talks about Ben Simmons not scoring, except for me. I'm the one that always says Ben Simmons gets you double-digit points. And that's what he does. Now, you'd be surprised if I told you this Ben Simmons non-shooter, Ben Simmons that everybody talks about, averages literally 16 points a game.
No, but I'm saying he don't have to shoot jumpers. He can drive. He can do pick and roll. No, he don't have. When I say shoot, I'm talking about shoot.
All I'm saying,
not a layup.
All I'm saying is that Ben Simmons can get you points, as I said. The problem is people want Ben Simmons to do what and how they want him to do it.
But I think with this Brooklyn team,
we put too much pressure on him to look at the basket when he's wide open.
It fits how he plays.
16 points a game.
It fit how he played perfectly with this Brooklyn team. The way he played fits perfectly. If they have all their horses,
it does. How does it fit perfectly? Because he can just bring the ball up and pass it to everybody else.
Yep,
you can get any boob. You can get any boob to do that.
He can play.
You don't need nobody getting paid top dollar for that.
Who's in the top 5 in defense? Dude's good, man.
Let me ask you this.
Which defense is what Brooklyn is missing also.
Okay, let me ask you this. Tell me one great defender that's going to stop a great offensive player in basketball.
That what now?
One defender, top flight defender that's going to stop or stops a top flight player when they play in the playoffs.
Well, you might not stop him.
He shut down Trey. He shut down Trey Young. Trey Young last year when they put Ben Simmons on him. Shut him down.
He did have a good series against him. He had a good series against him. You're right. We're looking at a younger Trey Young that's still learning the league at maybe not even 6 feet.
Ain't they about the same age?
What are we calling shut him down?
Trey Young is a solid all-star player. I'm talking about I'm talking about the real deal, the playoffs. When you're gonna have to play somebody. I understand what Trey Young putting points up, but I'm talking about.
But
let's put him on James Harden, and James Harden go. You think he's gonna shut James Harden down?
He's a better defensive player than Harden. Yes. Yes.
Hold on, better defensive player. Hold on, Jeremiah. Let fans finish stuttering.
I didn't say shut him down, but he'll slow him down. He might not, and not even shut it
Man,
down, but he
please.
won't get 30, 40. He won't be
And
getting that
and
game
and,
card.
and, and yeah,
That
yeah,
game
he
card.
will.
No,
He won't need to get 30, 40 because you got Joel Embiid, but he definitely gonna get his buckets when he want them.
And Joel
Is he
Embiid
gonna guard? Is
He
he
ain't
gonna
gonna
guard?
lie. Joel
Is
Embiid
he
ain't gonna
gonna?
lie.
You notice Joel Embiid has been last this whole season since Ben Simmons has sat out.
Wait
I
till the
wonder how
playoffs.
that is. So now,
Wait till the
is he gonna
playoffs.
stop? Is he gonna stop Giannis?
Who?
Giannis,
We've
I
been
tell
talking about
anybody.
Ben. Stick with us, Vance. We've
Okay.
been talking about Ben Simmons.
I tell anybody.
We've been
The
talking
way,
about
the
Ben
way to
Simmons.
stop
Milwaukee's
Giannis,
gonna win it. No.
make
Mark.
Giannis
So
become a
you can't-
jump shooter. Make Giannis become a jump shooter.
He ain't gonna make Giannis become no jump shooter. Giannis is going to the basket.
Giannis
He trying to
is
get in
shooting
his
that
way.
field, too. Giannis is
He gonna
shooting.
try to get in. He gonna try to get in his way, and he gonna get hurt, and he gonna get fouled out the game.
Well, you got to remember the refs do let Giannis run straight over people.
Exactly. Playing against a Western Conference team. Is he gonna stop?
I'm just saying.
Is he gonna stop Steph Curry?
But what I'm saying is Ben Simmons. I'm not a big Ben Simmons fan. I'm just saying with this cast of players in Brooklyn, his game fits Brooklyn team.
Yeah, just bring the ball up and get out the way and hand it to the rest of them, and you can go guard somebody. Yeah, that'll work.
He can run the offense. He can run the offense. You got a 6'9"
Ben Simmons is going to be
getting
the
ball
point guard
off the rebound, and he's going down full steam. He can run the offense.
Even with Kyrie.
He gonna do what?
Even when Kyrie is there, Ben Simmons is going to be the point guard.
He can run.
Right, I know Kyrie don't really want to be no point guard. That's why he tried to deflect to. I just told James,
don't give him that
go
ball.
ahead and do it.
Don't come his way enough. Don't come his way enough. I bet he gonna get that ball.
Now the wild card is Cleveland, but I just think Cleveland's just too young right now. I think they need.
Cleveland's not ready. Cleveland's not ready to do it. I'm joking with them. Cleveland ain't ready to really take that next level. But
they're gonna give somebody a fight. They're gonna give somebody a fight, but they're not ready to win the championship.
The fact of the matter is, for me, is that there's nobody on the Brooklyn Nets that's mentally strong enough to carry Ben Simmons and to give him the self-confidence because he's mentally weak.
Vance, remember when I said, don't let your lion eyes fool you? Trey Young stats versus Ben Simmons in the playoffs. Trey Young has averaged 29 points, 10.9 assists, 2.6 rebounds in 7 games in the playoffs versus Ben Simmons in his career.
No, but year before, Trey Young was hitting 45, 50 points, and then they put Ben Simmons on him, and his points went down. I'm not saying he's gonna shut Trey Young down where he can't score. Period.
They could have put me on him, and I'd have took him down to under 45 and 50.
No, you wouldn't have.
He broke your ankle.
Phil,
he broke your ankle.
He was.
Phil, you wouldn't have passed.
He was tearing them up until Doc Rivers ended up putting Ben Simmons on him, and his points went down. Tremendous.
That reminds.
He was tearing them up.
I would tell
they
you
didn't have
right
an
now.
answer for him.
Look, I can tell you right now. You must not know. Look, I got these braces on my feet. You just don't know.
So your ankle's already broken.
That's my point, Mark. He can't do nothing to embarrass me because they already messed up.
It's not about embarrassing you. You're not gonna move.
I will tell you right now.
You're being locked now.
Look.
Ankles locked up on you trying to check Trey.
I look at this. You can have Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving can score and do a lot of great things. He doesn't move the needle. He hasn't moved the needle for any team. But people have fell prey into thinking that people.
No. LeBron James won that championship.
Please stop. Be quiet.
LeBron
He got a championship win.
LeBron James won that championship
win with LeBron James there, because before that, they was a high lottery pick.
LeBron James won that championship. Kyrie just get a lot of credit because he hit that shot. But LeBron James averaged over 30-something points a game. They didn't try to vault Steve Kerr
into being
Vance,
an all-star player when he had to run
take
for
LeBron
Jordan.
James off that team, and they probably wouldn't even made it to the finals.
They wouldn't have made it to the playoffs.
And they sure wouldn't have came back
They
from
probably
the
wouldn't have
3-1
won
deficit.
without Kyrie either. They wouldn't have won without him either.
Of course, he helped Vance, but you do understand that the difference of that team was. Never mind. I'm sorry. My fault, Vance. You got me. You made me even actually entertain your conversation. Forget that. So go ahead.
This is the problem.
I'm not going to answer that ridiculous.
This is the problem you all are running into. The reason Vance is saying how Kyrie won the game, because he understands that Jordan didn't win anything until who won the games for them?
Steve Kerr,
and
John Paxson.
And John Paxson and Scottie Pippen won the games. So Vance understands that there can be a name out front that really doesn't win the stuff.
But Phil, as you say, stats and stuff can be lying. There is no championship team that didn't have a number 2. Never.
I never said it was.
Exactly.
So if
I never said it was.
So if LeBron don't go to Cleveland, it's Kyrie and Andrew Wiggins.
How do you expect that? Come on, man.
Now LeBron is one. Now I will give him this. LeBron is one of the few teams that took his team to the conference finals or to the finals without a number 2. He didn't win them, but he had
Danielle
Marshall. He had Booby Gibson.
Hold on. Look at Vance's face. Look at Vance. Go ahead. Try to throw it off. Come on, make up something.
Yeah, I ain't make up nothing. Yeah, but he lost in the final.
I didn't say he won it. That's what I said. He's a few players that
he lost with a team that
Jordan never lost the final.
Hey, look, he lost in the finals with a team that Jordan would never come
Jordan
close
never
to
lost in the finals. I don't care what you say.
Jordan never made it to the finals until Pippen came.
It don't matter when.
It took Scottie Pippen's great play for Jordan to win anything. Think about that.
He's right, though, Phil. You're right. Because Jordan wouldn't have taken that Cleveland team
anywhere. We all know one man can't win
anywhere.
Jordan one man that won a championship.
One man has done it. One man has done it.
Who?
LeBron James.
Jordan. Vance. Until Jordan got Pippen, Jordan, nobody talks about all the bailout years that Jordan didn't do anything. What? They only talk about the greatness when Scottie Pippen came. That's crazy. But I do want to say this. Because
Jordan got Dwayne Wade. He didn't win nothing either.
Jordan only played 6 years in the league. So I don't even know why he's even in the Hall of Fame.
He played the first 3, then he went to go play baseball, then came back and then played another 3.5. He played 6.5 years.
Oh, okay. He
won 6 championships.
Well,
you're right. 6 years. You're right.
2 3-peats.
That's not fair to Michael, man. Michael scored like in the 50s in the playoffs against Boston.
Michael was a 50.
Because everybody had to guard Scottie Pippen.
Hey, Terry.
Scottie Pippen wasn't there then.
He was a 50%.
Jordan ain't been Jerry. Hold it, Terry. Jordan ain't been nowhere to win anything without Scottie Pippen.
I didn't say he won. I said he threw up 50 against Boston when he was a
let's be real. LeBron didn't win nothing either till he got with Dwayne Wade. He didn't win no championship till he got with Dwayne Wade.
Hold on, Jeremiah.
Hold it. The LeBron people don't have a problem with that.
Jordan scored 65 against Boston. 63 against Jordan. Against Boston. And how did that game turn out for them?
Well, they lost. They lost. No, okay. I'm just saying that he was good before Jordan. Scottie just helped the team out.
Nobody said he wasn't.
Nobody said Jordan wasn't good. We said Jordan wasn't a winner until Scottie came along.
Y'all said that
we just listening to
one man can't win a championship.
We just got a fool here that wants to try to make.
But Jordan couldn't even get him to a championship playoff.
Nobody can win by itself because they can't play everybody.
I seen
Terry, you must not know who Michael Jordan is then.
You let
Vance tell Jordan play by himself.
Michael Jordan scored all the points for the Chicago Bulls. He defended everybody.
Yeah.
He guarded everybobody's player, not just
Terry
the
just
best player.
doesn't know.
He
He
said,
guarded all
"Fellas,
of them.
I do want to let me say this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah sent out. Jeremiah, was that you that sent out that thing on Jordan?
Yeah,
where Jordan was
where
talking
Jordan
about?
said he cringes when people ask him if he's the GOAT or not, because he says there's so many other people that came before him, and he cringes when people ask him if he's the GOAT.
Nobody
Well,
after him.
he's modest. He's modest.
He didn't care about nobody after him.
Wait, Terry, did you say? Terry, did you say he's modest?
He's modest. Michael
You said
Jordan,
he's modest?
according to the NBA
So,
poll
can-
at the
somebody
All-Star
He said
break,
he came before
Michael Jordan is
him.
still the most popular player.
No,
Okay, but you said he's modest.
Jordan is just smart, and he understands that he don't have to say he's the GOAT because he got enough players and people that's gonna say he's the GOAT. So why talk about it?
I just want to ask: Can somebody in the chat room? Can somebody in the chat room look up the word modest?
We all know
and send that in there
Jordan
so Terry
is
can know what it means.
Here's the funniest part of
Another
this.
day in the room.
Mark,
on TAD TV, y'all.
Mark, here's the funniest part
It
to
won't
this.
end. It won't end.
Look,
Conversation won't end.
Vance doesn't want me to tell the truth. He doesn't want me to tell the truth, Mark.
He wants you to tell his version of the truth.
Where you gonna
Mark,
find
here's the
great
funniest thing.
conversation?
Jordan sitting
Michael
up
Jordan's
here
still on top.
trying to act all modest, right? You know what's the number one thing I say about Jordan? If his lips are moving, he's what, Mark?
He's lying.
He's lying. You know it, and this is why you know he's lying, because what did Jordan vehemently do? Say, I make up stuff. I tell lies on people all the time so I can get fired up against them. That's the whole thing. That's his
Well, this is what he said.
What?
He said I don't want it because I think it disrespects Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, and all the guys prior to me.
Yeah.
I never had a chance to play again.
Okay, but this is my whole point. Hold it. This is why I'm glad you read that, Jeremiah. This is why I'm glad you read that. Because what did Jordan and Rod Thorne both do, Mark? They both sat up and said what? Jordan didn't say anything about he ain't gonna play in the '92 Dream Team.
Dream Team if Isaiah wasn't there.
And then the audio showed up where he and Rod Thorne was discussing that, and they caught Jordan in that lie. This is when you catch Jordan in the biggest lie, and I can tell you right now, Wilt Chamberlain is rolling over in his grave, and Bill Walton is halfway in his right now because Bill Walton loves to tell the story.
Bill Walton.
All right, fellas, y'all
we go, man.
Bill Walton loves to tell the story.
Yeah. Try to cancel yourself out of it, Vance. Go ahead.
You gotta hear this. Bill Walton
We gotta go. We've been on an hour and 47 minutes.
Where
We love it, baby.
Y'all have a good night.
Reunion. And
Phil, we got you. Take a breath. I'm gonna watch Aquaman.
okay,
That's what I'm talking about.
back at the table, who's having an animated discussion? Wilt Chamberlain